Invited everyone to their home, and when they realized,
Kindly flip
must?
this. Can you kindly flip this?
Yes, please. And I can. Wow. So the Shamtov family, the family of Omer Shamtov, who was released in the previous deal, they wrote a Facebook tag post calling everyone who know they have a hostage or a missing person from October 7th to come to their house in Herzliya. Uh, and very quickly they realized their house is not big enough to host everyone. So they collaborated with a family friend who has a law firm not far from Hostage Square. You will see his office from there. It's very, very clear. And very quickly, the forum started. We have teams working on fundraising, Israel advocacy, international advocacy, field operations, and more. But without further ado, I see we have Zohar Avigdori here. Zohar is an uncle of two released
Brother-in-law.
and a brother-in-law of three released hostages. Two. Well,
We'll explain in a bit.
no, so he will explain in a bit, and is now very, very active and important figure here at the forum. So Zohar,
With the mic?
With the
Wow.
mic.
How long do I have?
How long is it?
As much as you want.
Oh, wow.
1 hour.
As much as you want.
1 hour?
I won't get to 1 hour, but hi everyone. Thank you for coming and thank you for paying us a visit. This means a lot. I think I'm going to have to be very brief as I'm in the middle of a very busy day, so you'll have to excuse me with that. I'll just give you a brief summary of our family's story and my personal story since then, and a brief analysis of where I think we are at the moment. Which will represent my opinion, not the forums or the organizations, just solely my opinion. And then we'll have a few questions, maybe. Does that sound okay? Yeah. Great. You guys are from Sri Lanka, I hear. So maybe an interesting point to start the talk would be that when the catastrophe happened on October 7, 2023, I was actually closer to you guys than to here. I was in Rishikesh, India, on a very long-awaited trip, and we started to hear about everything that was going on here, and slowly realizing that this is something very different to the usual occasional bombardment of the Gaza area that we've known in the past. And I still had the question of whether to continue my trip or not until the morning of October 8th, where I got a text message from my brother saying that he didn't want to alarm me, but his wife and daughter went to visit family at Kibbutz Be'eri, which was one of the places that suffered the most from that pogrom and the attack, and that they are still out of contact with them.
They were in Be'eri yesterday.
Right. So if you were in Be'eri, that's where they were, and if you went through the neighborhood, one of the ruins ones, I'll tell you the story of what happened there to my family in a second. But it was very clear to me that I'm coming back, obviously, and I got back to Israel October 9th, straight diving into the struggle to, first of all, realize what has happened, what's going on with them. It took us 10 very stressful days to finally get the information that they have been kidnapped, and it took another 40 days for them to return in the framework of the first hostage deal in late November 23. I spent 50 days in this weird, horrible, Netflix-like situation of trying to release my 12-year-old niece and her mom from the hands of Hamas. It still sounds weird, almost 2 years after saying that. And I spent the nearly 650 days since then fighting for those who are still left behind, because the fact that my family endured what has happened and remained intact is no less than a miracle or a wild lottery ticket of fate, because on that day, on that morning, in Kibbutz Be'eri, in the house of my relatives that my sister-in-law went to visit, there were 9 people in the emergency room. It's a little bit complicated to explain the different connection, but at the end of the day, what saved them was the fact that Tal Shoham, one of the hostages that was released on day 505, deliberately, when they were enclosed in the room and started smelling the smoke, he deliberately opened the window and said in Arabic, in the little Arabic that he has known, to the Nukhba terrorists that were standing right outside the window, he said, Nas walad, he said, like, there are women and children here, don't hurt them, take us the men. And they did indeed took the men. They executed his father-in-law and they captured him and took him to Gaza. And in a different car, they took the women and the children, including my sister-in-law and my niece, and kept them in Gaza for 50 days. There were a little over 120 people in that neighborhood at Kibbutz Be'eri that morning, and 12 of them survived. Out of the 12, 7 are from the same safety room of my family. So the odds were definitely against us. And it only was thanks to his bravery and resilience that they were even kidnapped and not executed on the spot. So to me and to my brother, it was very clear that we were only saved and we only got them back by a raffle of fate. And that's why it was very, very important and crucial to us to continue in the struggle with the rest of the families. Sadly, this still continues. We're approaching day 700 this Friday in 2 days. That's my family story in a nutshell. And I think if we're looking at it today, it's become very, very clear that unless pressured very hard, the current Israeli government is not pushing towards a deal and towards the end of this war. And that's what we're trying to do right now, to push very hard externally. We've tried to push internally very much, nearing the first and then the second deal. And we're realizing right now that unless we put a lot of pressure through the Israeli people and through external governments, there is very little incentive, unfortunately, in the Israeli government to end the war and bring everyone home. Right now, their priority lies in different places, in other places. So that's our strategy at the moment. Questions? Stuff you want to know?
Are you supporting the concept that Hamas is presenting to release half of the hostages?
Am I supporting?
Yeah, I mean, as an organization for hostages, what do you suggest to the government? Because government is in a position that they will never agree to a situation where the Hamas is going to release half of the hostages. So how do you...
We cannot reject any deal that will bring anyone home. Like, it's not a position that we can stand. We were pushing towards a wholesome deal to bring everyone back and finish the war since months ago. And I think it raises more than one eyebrow right now that once Hamas stepped forward and agreed to a partial deal, which the Israeli government originally initiated, now the Israeli government is pulling back, so saying, no, we want a wholesale deal or nothing. It's a little bit suspicious to us. But we cannot, obviously, it will be released, will be accepted by us, obviously.
Do you believe that Hamas they will be in their word?
Do I believe that they will be?
In their word, that they will do the promise that they...
Well, they've done it so far, twice. And the Israeli government broke both deals on December 1st, 23, and last March. It was the Israeli government that refused to continue, not Hamas. You seem surprised? But those are the facts. On the December 1st, 2023, following the fact that Hamas wanted to change what was agreed upon and wanted to give back old males instead of young females and children as it was agreed, Israel chose to say, we will not let you change the deal and we'll get back to fighting. It may have been that they have thought that they will give a blast of fire for 2-3 days and Hamas will get back to the table. Eventually Hamas didn't get back to the table and we ended up fighting for another year, losing hostages on the way. and obviously countless lives of Gazans and Israeli soldiers. When the second deal started, there was an article that said that on day 16, the negotiation will start for the next phase. Israel never sent that group to negotiate. Israel never sent their team to fully move past the first stage, and therefore, at the end of the first stage, again, we renewed the fire, and we're still in that situation of war. So I'm not here defending Hamas, obviously, and I'm not here trusting people who held my 12-year-old niece as a hostage. But I'm saying when it comes to the two deals that were until now, obviously in the pressure of the middlemen, obviously in the pressure of Qatar, of Egypt, you name it, but under their pressure, Hamas kept their side of the deal.
But Hamas refused the Witkoff suggestion.
Until 2 weeks ago. Right now they're agreeing to the Witkoff suggestion, and Israel doesn't even give its answer back. Sorry?
This is what they have done throughout the history. They broke all the promises they have given.
And accepting those two deals. My niece is at home because they signed the deal and they kept it.
Won't these ongoing military operations endanger the lives of the captives?
You're saying, are they endangering?
Yeah.
Of course, they endanger them. Yes, and the chief of the chief of the Israeli army said so as well. Said so very clearly.
So what is your figures and how many of them are still there?
No, we rely on what we know. There are 48 hostages. Out of them, 20 are alive. That's what we know.
Only 20
Yeah.
now.
We saw from the pictures they are being treated under extremely inhuman conditions.
Correct.
Some of them look horrible. They have lost that human pattern. At the same time, Hamas is asking from the state of Israel to stop all the military operations.
Right.
Can it be possible? Can it be compatible with your demand? If the state stops the military operation?
Look, I'm not a statesperson, and I'm not a negotiator. This is the job of the Israeli government. I'm not there to say how you're going to do it. I'm just saying, as a civilian, the demand of what to do. And what to do is to stand behind your citizens who you yourself abandoned on that day, and you left them defenseless at a very dangerous border, and they were taken, and they've been there for nearly 2 years. Your highest commitment as a government, I think, as a democratic government, should be to listen to your people and do everything you can to bring them back. Did the Israeli government did everything it can to bring them back? Absolutely not.
So do you have any opportunity to communicate these hostages? Do you have any?
No, nothing.
No messages?
Nothing. Not even the Red Cross.
They are not allowed to.
No.
So you believe the Israeli government ready to sacrifice those hostages in a larger operation?
I don't need to believe anything. There are ministers in the Israeli government who have declared that very bluntly. They said, our top priority is to destroy Hamas and conquer Gaza. Okay? And we will not sacrifice, what they're saying is that we're not sacrificing the future and security of Israel for just 20 people. Right?
They said that.
Of course, yes. Minister from the extreme right, whose Netanyahu coalition is dependent on. Sadly, it cannot be more clear, right? It's not a conspiracy. It's not a theory of like a civic studies. It's there in the publications of ministers from the far right who are members of the government and the cabinet.
Is the far right people representing the majority concern of the country?
Are you saying, do we have the backup of Israeli society? Mm-hmm. Most polls say that we do.
Can you explain about this psychological rehabilitation of those who are coming from Hamas? I have seen a couple of reports. There are some experts.
Look, I can say on my sister-in-law and niece that gladly they return to their lives, fully functioning. Whether you can say the same about somebody who's been in Hamas captivity 10 times more than them, I can't say. Probably not. Guys, I have to leave, so one last question. We're good? All right. All the best.
Thank you very much.
That's all. Thank you. I'm happy you got to meet Zohar. He's incredible. He's doing a lot of our field work.
Let me know his name.
Zohar Avigdori.
Zohar,
Zohar. It's Zohar. Yes. And Avigdori is Avigdore.
D-O-R-I.
I. Yeah. You're good at this. um, yes. So the forum represents families from all sides of political spectrum. So, what like Zohar has a very firm position on the government and stuff, which is like completely legitimate. But I want you also to know that we also have families.
Democracy. Israel is a democracy.
Yeah, it's a democracy. I mean, actually the forum. What's interesting about this institution is that it is being run as a democracy. Everything the forum does is being voted on among the families, among not even like it's a very very sophisticated democracy, because every time someone is being released, he can no longer vote for the strategy. So we have like families of the current 48 hostages. They vote on everything we do. So we have a wide range of opinions. It can get very heated, but the spirit is that they have one goal they all share, and they want to work together towards this. So, do you have any questions about the forum or like what we're doing, or
So how are you managing your resources?
what?
How are you managing your resources and funding and all
It's the
arrangements?
same.
How are we spending, or how are we funding?
If you get the funding, how do you operate like
No.
that?
So it's a donation-based organization. There's two parts. One is basically we work with Jewish organizations from the United States, and we're like individual donors. Some like individual donors are also Israeli, but we're also doing a lot. When you'll be at the square, you will see there are like two gift shops, and the Israeli public can get, or even you when you get there, you can get small items, which helps finance our organization.
The income from the shops goes to this forum over here.
Right. So how many of you are working in this organization?
I think there are about 30 to 40 employees. The rest are volunteers or vendors.
Do they have most of the employees have any kind of link to the family? They are family members of the hostages, or
Most of the people who work here were like me. I volunteered here for 8 months until I started to get like any kind of income. It's like I'm not getting rich.
and you mentioned that you are going to wind up after releasing all the hostages, but don't you have? Do you think that you can have another mission of taking care of these people, because they and their families went through very very dangerous and very traumatic ordeal. So
Of course,
can
you are.
turn their operations.
Of course, you are right. I just hope I just hope we will get to the phase when we need to face this problem. Right now, the one and only
To
goal
do more for them.
when they are back home, of course, I gotta tell you from I am in touch with a lot of the released hostages. Spending time with them and making them happy and helping them is something that's very fulfilling for all of us. It's an honor. So,
Can you mention a word about this lady?
oh, this is Maya Regev. Maya was taken from the Nova Music Festival along with her brother Itai and Omer Shem Tov, we mentioned. When she was taken, she got shot in her feet, and Hamas took her to a hospital in Gaza. And this is Omer in the middle. Itai is on the right. This is the time they went to the Nova site. So a Hamas-affiliated doctor performed surgery on her and probably intentionally attached her feet the wrong way, like to the left, which was very, very painful. And when she got back, she needed to go a series of surgeries and rehabilitation, so her feet will be in a normal shape. But right now she's here at home with her brother and her best friend Omer. They are working on podcasts and everything they can do to advocate for the release of the hostages.
All three of them were taken hostages.
Yes. Yes, actually, Maya and Itai, they were in Mexico on October 6th, and they just landed in Israel at midnight of October 7th, and immediately after getting back from the airport, they went to the party. They arrived at the party at 6 a.m., and they were only partying for half an hour before everything started.
But I have to acknowledge one thing, you have a very powerful WhatsApp group.
Hmm?
You have a very powerful WhatsApp group, and you always keep posting the things.
Oh.
I was a member of that in last, right from the beginning of the war.
Oh.
So keep doing that. It's very important and get to know about those things.
Thank you so much. It's good to hear.
And
Yeah.
as journalists, we were following your activities through web, and we get some information about hostages from your sites and all this.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're happy to help. Any more questions or? So I think you're going to the kickoff from here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So just like I will not, unfortunately, cannot join you to the square, but I just want you to know a bit about what there is there before you go. The forum started like in an office building not far from the Kikar and from the square, and the idea was that families needed a place where they can be outside and engage with the public. It was very hard for them to stay in an office all the time. They wanted to be out. So in the first week after October 7th, we had like a Shabbat table. In Judaism, a Shabbat is a very, very powerful concept where every Friday, every family is gathered around the table, having a meal and a prayer together. And having someone absent from that tradition is painful. This is one of the times where the hostages are feeling most absent. So we had a Shabbat dinner with 253 chairs, one for each hostage, and then all the families came. This is how the square started. Since then, it evolved, and there are a lot of art exhibits and installations, artists and everyone and families put at the square, so the families can pay. Families and the public can pay tribute to the hostages and show sympathy. So when you go there, you see a piano that was put there by a family of Alon Oil. It was a pianist who was taken hostage. You can see a time clock that was planted by another family. You can see a statue that was created by a released hostage, and more. So thank you so much for taking the time to come here. We appreciate it, and I hope you will have all the best in your amazing country.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
අපි මේ ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ හොස්ටේජ් ස්ක්වයර් කියලා කියනවා. ප්‍රාණපකරුවන්ගේ වෙනුවෙන් හදලා තියෙන විශේෂ ස්ථානයක්, ගොඩනැගිල්ලක්. මේ ගොඩනැගිල්ලේ තට්ටු කිහිපයක්ම ඔවුන් දීලා තිබෙනවා ප්‍රාණපකරුවන් වෙනුවෙන් ඒ කටයුතු සංවිධානය කර ගැනීම සඳහා. ඉතින් එතනදී සඳහන් කළ යුතු වැදගත් කාරණු කිහිපයක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි අපි දන්නවා සමහර විට ඔබ දකින්න ඇති ඔහු කියනවා මේ ඊශ්‍රායල් ආණ්ඩුව තමයි ප්‍රාණපකරුවන් සම්බන්ධයෙන් තිබුණු ඒ ගිවිසුම් කඩ කළේ හමාස් නෙමෙයි ඊශ්‍රායල් තමයි ගිවිසුම් කඩ කළේ කියලා කියනවා. ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම ඒක නෙමෙයි ඇත්ත. ඉතින් ඒක සමහරට ඔබ පුදුම වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඇයි එහෙම ඔහු කිව්වේ කියලා. ඒකට හේතුව තමයි ඉතින් පුංචි උදාහරණයක් ගන්න ඕන අපේ රටෙත් එහෙමයි. අපේ රටෙත් ඕන තරම් ඉන්නවා දැන් කට්ටියක් එකතුලා බොහොම අමාරුවෙන් හිටපු පාලකයෝ දූෂිතයි කියලා ඒගොල්ලන්ව එලවලා අලුත් කණ්ඩායමක් පත් කරගන්න උත්සාහ කළා පත් කරගත්තා. ඉතින් අනතුරුව මම මේ කතා කරන ගමන් මේ ඔය කාර්යාලවල පේන ඔක්කොම හොස්ටේජස්ලා වෙනුවෙන් වැඩ කරන අය